Hey Stormtroopers, Bryant Cook here, and tonight we are playing a modern league with Gift Storm, but this is a special version of Gift Storm. This is Birgi Storm. And if you're unfamiliar, this is a new card out of Kaldheim. Kaldheim, I don't know. So Birgi is a god for 2 and a red, and whenever you cast a spell, add red mana to your mana pool. Doesn't lose mana during your phases or whatever, and you can boast twice. 3 for 3. Pretty good hill giant, right? Well, the back half is a legendary artifact where you can discard a card, exile the top two, and then you can cast those cards until end of turn. Or play those cards until end of turn, which means you can play lands. Sorry about that. So that is Birgi. Well, why is Birgi good? Well, Birgi's good because it's not a cost reducing effect. So on Pyretic Ritual, for example, if you already have Brawl, Birgi's just plus mana. And Birgi acts as an enabler. So it's similar to a Goblin Electromancer or Brawl. I refer to those as enablers. Well, Birgi is also an engine card, like Past in Flames or Gifts and Given. And what that means is that Birgi is multi-purposed. And what Birgi does is it allows you to beat Veil of Summer. So the way that Giftstorm decks are currently built is they run Selenium Vision or pieces of the puzzle and post-war games to beat Veil of Summer. Well, Birgi does that all on its own by allowing you to, just discard a card to cast more cards. And when you're running 12 cantrips, that certainly helps. Well, uh, this is important because you don't have to run pieces of the puzzle in the sideboard or Selenium Vision in the main anymore. You're replacing 3 Goblin Electromancer with 3 Birgi, and you're getting a multi-purposed engine, and it's really, really good. It helps you save on slots. And one of the best things that you can do with deck building is consolidating slots. You'll notice that, for example, with the Pioneer lists, originally post Underworld Breachband, people were running both an Enter the Infinite and a Jace to win, and then soon enough that became just Jace with Pier, and then it became just Approach. If you can consolidate 2 slots into one, that's what you want to be doing, and that's what Birgi actually does. You're not running Goblin Electromancer and Selenium Vision or Electromancer in pieces. It's one card that does it all, and it's good in multiples. So when you have Birgi in play, you can then play the Horn on the other side, and it helps cast it. Like, it works together very well. It also lends to playing 12 cantrips. Like that's extremely good. So yeah, tonight's league we're playing 3 Birgi over Goblin Electromancer. That's the core of it. 12 cantrips. I'm a big fan of the 12 cantrip mana base. Birgi also benefits from fetch lands. You're thinning your deck. That's really important. And trust me, I promise it is. When you're exiling 2, you want to be revealing less lands. So in my last video, I talked about triple grape shot, no bounce spell, no empty. It's the best way of beating Force of Negation, in my opinion, and that's what you want to be doing. There are way more copies of Force of Negation out there that are currently seeing play than humans naming Meddling Mage in Game 1, or main deck Leyline of Sanctity, or anything like that. Like, Empty is not a good card in this metagame. Repeal is bad. Like, I don't know why people keep on playing that card. You don't need to be able to beat, like, fringe one-ofs in Game 1. Like, you want to maximize your percentage to win in general. And that's what my list is looking to do here. I am very, very excited to play this list. I think Birgi has a lot of potential over Goblin Electromancer. Although I do find it kind of funny. Our list is essentially blue-red legends now. You're only running legendary creatures, which is kind of cute. Not that that matters or anything, but Birgi also works well with Opt and Serum Visions and etc. because these now make mana, unlike Goblin Electromancer. So you benefit from cantrips. And like I said, you benefit if you already have a reducer in play off of the 2 mana spells, which is kind of cool. In the sideboard, we're seeing Dispel and Spell Pierce. This is because of the new Hot Cascade deck that's taken over Eternal formats, where you cascade into Tibalt. So Spell Pierce is good against that. Dispel is not good against that, but Dispel does stop Force of Negation. It stops Tibalt's Trickery, which is also a very popular cascade deck. Surgical can, exile a Tibalt Trickery after it's, milled one or whatever. and the rest of it's pretty stock. So this is the deck list. I hope it's great. We'll see how it goes. If you, once again, if you have any questions, leave them in the comments below. Always willing to answer those questions. Back to 17 lands due to no Salinity Vision. That's probably the last thing I wanted to mention. And I'm really, really excited to play in our first match. So why don't we hop right on in? And as always, if you want to support this content, theepicstorm.com/shop. But more important than that, please, please subscribe. Hit that subscribe button right now while we wait for match number 1. It would be greatly appreciated so I can keep on making you great combo content. I appreciate you appreciating me, Stormtroopers. So hit that subscribe button, and then after you do, go down to the description and click on all of our other social media channels and make sure to like, follow, subscribe, etc. Join those groups. It will be good for you. All right, match number 1. We are on the play. Seems fine. Just really need to hit a second land off this sleight of hand. This hand's pretty close. Like, it could go poorly. We'll see. Alright, our opponent is mulliganed. Alright, Spire Bluff Canal, and let's cast this light. No land. We'll take the other slight, though. Hopefully that can help us on turn 2. Would be even better if we just drew the land. Not quite that lucky. We're going to slate because it digs deeper than the opt. Ooh, tough. I think you're supposed to take the ritual here. Black usually represents removal. And unfortunately, we missed our second land drop after seeing 5 cards. And we're not out of the game yet. It just means that we missed a land. We have another op next turn to dig. And I think Desperate's correct when we have Past in Flames. Goblins. It's spicy. Alright, 6 cards, no land. There's one. Hopefully we can get another land on our next turn, so that way we can, you know, maybe do something worthwhile. No land. might be crazy, but I think I'm supposed to just like discard this Gifts and Given. I want to hold up Remand so I can make sure that I don't die. Alright, I'm just going to fire this off. No, the ritual's great. We just have to draw the land. If we draw land, we have a win. I think that does it. Our opponent's draw never really came together, and I think we got a little bit lucky. There should be an easier way of resolving storm spells. So we got a little bit lucky and we won game one. Missing those land drops was pretty scary, but we got there. Alright, so I don't even know what we want against Goblins, to be completely honest. Like, I don't feel like Remand is that good. Especially on the draw. Yeah, I'm just going to try this out. And while we wait for game two, if you didn't the first time, please subscribe. It would mean a lot to me. Pound that subscribe button. Just do it. But if you already have, you can visit theepicstorm.com/shop to show your appreciation. If you do place an order, make sure to leave a note saying, hey, I really appreciate the modern content. That lets me know to make more instead of, other formats. Okay. On the draw for game number 2. This seems fine to me. I'm going to keep this. See how Birgi is against Goblins. We have double Canal. Normally you want to lead on those, but I could have the Steam Vents come into play untapped. It punishes you if you draw another Spire Bluff. And this is actually going to change things, so I'm going to lead on the Visions. And I like both of these. I might actually just ritual out the Birgi on turn 2. Chalice of the Void. Birgi. So Chalice on one next turn doesn't really affect us that much. So it's worth noting that Birgi plays well with Noxious Revival. Like, I know I've talked about it in my last few Modern videos, but Noxious Revival was a last second cut before I actually went live. I had one over the third grape shot. I was just thinking that, like, Noxious Revival and Gifts Pile seems a lot better if you have a Birgi in play. I should just record a video with that card. It's like always my 61st card whenever I'm deck building, and I should just play it. Alright, let's start off by attacking. 3 less storm I'll need. And let's get a land out of the deck. It's the same thing as having an Electromancer in play. It's just a cost reducer. Alright, so now we get Morphos, Desperate, Pyretic, and Past in Flames. Yeah, the fact that Noxious Revival could make a mana is really enticing. Alright, now we flashback Past in Flames. It's going to use all 5 of our mana, but then Birgi makes one. Like I said, it's the same thing as having a Goblin Electromancer in play. Mindbreak Trap. I was not expecting that. Okay. Well, we have a bunch of lands. I feel like I should hold on to the grape shot. So we know that they have a chalice and a whatever it's called, the sacrifice goblin, prospector in hand. Now I'm getting punished for not. I don't know. They probably wouldn't have. Never mind. Yep. Am I really supposed to board in like a spell pierce versus these like goblins? Like they have chalice and trap, I guess, but like spell pierce doesn't seem that good. Okay. So I still know two of my opponent's three cards. They have another chalice. They have a prospector. They're about to have a ringleader, so they'll have one unknown. And I'm about to gifts for another past in flames. All right, get the same stack. I still know two of three cards in my opponent's hand. Alright, there's no point in casting the opt when our opponent has double chalice. I'll be honest, I think we just lose if they have another trap. So I don't know if there's any point in playing around it. Might as well flashback a Morphos because we could hit a Birgi or a Brawl and help our, our case here. Let's do it again. We have not won this game yet. I think sometimes people just think like, hey, I resolve past in flames, I win, and that's not always the case. Like, I think I might have actually messed up this turn because I wasn't focused enough. Because I think what could have happened is that maybe I can still win this turn. But if I had played my rituals and then the Morphoses, I could have made more blue mana and guaranteed 4 more storm here. our opponent's not going to give us grape shots, so I'm going to grab that. Basically, I just want 2 free spells. And this should actually do it. I don't have to worry about surgical because my opponent has a chalice on one, which is nice. And now 17 shots. The 3 damage from Birgi was relevant. I guess you could say that Birgi won this game, obviously. Now my opponent is talking to me in chat. Alright, so they've said good game at this point. I'm going to mark this as a win, unless it was going to be the biggest slow roll memory trap of my life. But looks like we got there. Match number 2 will be coming up in just a second. And yeah. And we're back for match number 2 with Birgi Storm. We have 2 lands this time. I don't know. This seems fine to me. We're going to try this one out. Our opponent is mulliganing to 5. Aggressive mulligans like this now scare me due to the decks that have been created due to Kaldheim. The Tibalt's Trickery deck, but also the Turbo Tibalt deck itself. Okay. The land was honestly pretty close with this Brawl, but if we get a window with Brawl, it's definitely worthwhile. It looks like our opponent's actually on Jund. Really good draw. So what would be ideal here is our opponent taps out for like a Liliana of the Veil. We remand, and then we also draw a land. That would be a clean kill. And now we remand the Tibalt. And there's the land. Boom. Let's see if we can win. Yeah, like this is another spot where I'd want Noxious Revival. I guess I just get the Bastion Flames. Cast a bunch of spells. I was like trying to hope that I wouldn't have to gifts and giving because I think like the only way we lose is if we somehow get hit by like a surgical here, and like it's silly, but like if you can trip into it, why not do that? Like just don't give yourself the out to losing. But here we are. If they had like a surgical or some sort of trap or something, they would have played it already. I guess I can cast this. Just seems sweet. I realize that I could be winning, but honestly, like I just want to do fun stuff. So here we are. Um, okay, I was about to flashback the past in flames. All right, so Echoing Truth seems okay. I don't really know what our opponent's sideboard plans look like, if I'm being completely honest. But I do know that Tibalt cannot answer enchantments, which seems cool. And they're Jund, so I'm guessing that they probably have what's it called? Leyline of the Void. Spell Pierce seems good against Tibalt. Let's try this. Looks great. Alright, so there's the ley line. I guess that they might have had that. And they kept 6. Letting go. Another blue source would honestly be really nice, so that way we can cast Serum Visions on turn 2. Here we go. Oh, they just decided not to do it. So we know that they have one spirit guide. Do I want Grape Shot? I don't think so. Mindbreak Trap. Not sure what's going on here. Murderous Rider. This is a really interesting deck. Alright, we hit the land. Trying to think here if it would be better to Echoing Truth the Leyline or just like try to win through Leyline. And I think through is probably better. So I don't think that they can give us Grape Shot or Empty. So I think we're most likely going to get Pyretic and Morphos here. Interesting. Woot woot! Look at that! Get out of here, Tibalt! Birgi's in town. Not that we actually use Birgi, but we'll pretend we did. 2-0. Alright, round number 3 against Ugin's Buddy. We're on the draw. Our opponent's kept 7. This is an interesting hand. Like, these are the sort of hands that I'm looking forward to playing with to get a real idea of how Birgi is in Gift Storm. So we're going to keep this one. Yikes, this might not be the matchup for Birgi. I thought that was Burn. Are we playing the Mirror? We can't be playing the Mirror. Arid Mesa? No way. This is some sort of control deck, I think. Oh, it's like a Delver deck. Force and Negation will be tough for us. No! Ah, brutal. The most common removal spell in Modern, and they just happen to have it. I think I should try to hit a land here. Not great. There's a chance we're just dead here. All the bolts. Alright, so this is just blue-red blitz. And we are dead. Alright, so we're going to want these spell pierces. Maybe even dispels. I do like empty in this matchup. Don't like Remand that much. Try something like that, maybe? The game plan is really to just slow them down. Seems good. So I played out the Strand here so I could fetch for Steam Vents. Because I don't think I'm bolting here. Maybe I am. But I can also just untap and bolt. Yeah, I'm just going to untap and bolt. It's pretty good for them. Two on the bottom. I'm just going to try to resolve this gifts right now. Brawl wasn't a bad draw. Want to try to get our opponent while they're tapped out. But I do not want that. I don't think they're going to give me Past in Flames, which is why I'm selecting it here. It's also good to just have as backup against like a Mindbreak Trap or a Force Negation. I thought about getting Dispel, but I don't think they would actually give me Dispel, so it's better to have Past in Flames in the graveyard. And that's what I thought would happen. Now we just have to hope that we get to untap. Not looking good. 14. I think I'm dead. 10. Yeah, I'm dead. Wow. They still have the flashback dart too. From 18 life. Can't be too upset about that. 2-1. Round number 4. Once again, we're on the draw. Our opponent is mulligan. This seems fine to me. We're going to try this out. Prowess again. Hand is a little bit slow. I think I like both of these. Yikes. Could be facing down death here. What we really want to draw for our turn is Manamorphose. That would give us a decent shot at winning. Not a Manamorphose. Just have to hope to get lucky here. Weird. It doesn't tell you if they scry to the top. No, they scry to the bottom. My bad. We're gonna cast Opt here. Don't think land is what we need. Another grape shot is great. And a little bit shocked that we're going to win this one. Woot woot. I'm wondering if I don't board and dispel this time. I'm just going to try this out. I feel like Empty's not super good against Prowess. Like, they do have Sprite Dragon in the Stormwing entity. They just, like, fly over a bunch of Goblin tokens. So it's not even buying time sometimes. And I'll admit, I wasn't really sure what my opponent was playing in the previous round. This hand's a little clunky. I think I need to ship this. Just like double Pass and Flames is so gross. Yeah, I'm gonna bottom grape shot. I think it's a pipe dream, hoping to hit a Sprite Dragon on turn 2 with it, and that they don't have Gut Shot or Mutagenic Growth or something. Bottom these. Well, they kept a hand with something. It's pretty weird for them to not have a play for 2 turns. They're going to go to discard, so whatever they're protecting, they're pretty adamant about it. Surgical could have been pretty devastating. I always wonder why people just don't screenshot instead of like trying to memorize. It's so much easier. Alright, so we can gift sound our opponent's end step and hold up Spell Pierce. Sure. Alright, so them drawing a land was a little weird because if they have their own Spell Pierce now, we can't counter it with ours. They're playing Stormwing here. Yeah. So they definitely have like a Spell Pierce or a Fluster or something. They've kept a blue this entire game. Alright. We're going to get them out in here. Let's attempt to resolve Gifts and Given. Alright, so let's figure out how to best play around surgical as possible. So I am willing to get Past in Flames. I think I want Aria. Pararetic doesn't get hurt by surgical, and I think Birgi. It's like kind of cool that Birgi's also like something you can get with gifts because like it's a threat. Like it is an engine. Wow, like Birgi's really good. So here it represents a bunch of cards that we can cast, which I like. Whoops. So I think they're all in on the Mindbreak trap. They might have double trap though is a big issue. So if you have a Mindbreak, this would be the time. They did not cast it. Let's pop our graveyard out. Stormwing is still on the battlefield. Let's not forget about that. I think I like these. And this is going to do it. We even have Spell Pierce back up at this point. Let's get rid of that Stormwing. Alright, that's going to do 3-1 over the deck that beat us last round. Yeah. Too bad we haven't cast more Birgis, but maybe we'll do it in round number 5. It just hasn't come up. I want it to come up more. We did gifts for it there. It would have been really sweet if they gave it to us. But instead, we'll take the 3-1 and hopefully a 4-1 in the end. Alright, last match. Web Zone is our opponent. We're on the draw. This hand seems fine to me. We'll try this. The world is your oyster when you have triple sleight of hand, right? Maybe. We'll find out. Opponent is mulligan to 6. Oh no, is it the one matchup where our grape shots are bad? Game one? I like this gifts. Alright, let's play a brawl. Okay, I'm okay with freebooter. It's weird because like I've been looking at goldfish and humans actually it's like just over 1% of the metagame. I think you're supposed to take the grape shot here, or else I grape shot the freebooter. I mean, I guess Morphos is defensible. Yeah, and that's what it appears that our opponent agrees with. Alright, so let's cast a slight. Is land better than the grape shot? Another booter. They're taking gifts, so maybe this is the Birgi game. That said, we are taking 7 here, so it's a little bit scary. We're probably dead next turn. Do we want to play the horn? I think we have to. Maybe not. I don't know. Okay. I'll take grape shot number 3 this game. So this is going to deal 5. So we can actually kill champion plus booter. One, two, and then same targets. Trying to figure out my options here. Probably want to get grape shot number 3. What stinks here is that uh, Ritual Past in Flames does not win, but we can play out Birgi a turn early. Ooh, they gave it to us. One, two, three, four. All right. We're going to go to 1 here, and I think that's going to be good enough. Why isn't it letting me cast this? There we go. Pretty lucky to avoid a meddling mage in game 1 here. That said, this deck isn't very popular anymore. I'm not too concerned with it. Like, I'm someone that's okay with chalking up my losses to obscure stuff. Like, I don't think that I need to beat every single situation. And I think it's better to build your decks that way, personally. I don't even know if it empties a card I want. Know that I definitely want all of these removal spells, though. Get these remands out of here. Actually, I think Slight is better than Opt when you're not playing counter spells, so board out Opt here. This seems good to me. That game was almost a game where Birgi was our engine. Didn't quite happen, but almost. Yeah. Echoing Truth was not a bad draw, that's for sure. All right, so now I need to ask myself the question on what's the better play? Is it to play Birgi as a creature or try to play it as a horn? Sadly, as much as I'd love to make Birgi a horn, I think it's correct here to just play the front half of Birgi. Because next turn we could hardcast Birgi, or the Horn, I mean, the Horn side. But then we would have to untap and try to win the turn after. Where on this next turn we might be able to win with gifts. And now we're getting punished by this Meddling Mage. We did board in a lot of removal spells, though. And that was not one of them. I think we're just going to take 4 here. Alright, I would really love to draw a Birgi here. I think it'd be so cool if that's how we won this game. Unfortunately, another gifts is not what we need. We have a lot of live draws. He boarded in, I believe, 6 removal spells. Alright, so I was going to say Past in Flames was a good one. Past in Flames is still fine, but now it's 1 less draw. So this is 10 damage. Yeah, I'll take 10. We're going to fetch and go to 1 on their end step. Remove 2 lands in the deck from, so that way it increases our percentage by a hair. Need to draw something good here. Dismember cannot do. Alright, game 3. Don't think I want to change anything. We had a lot of live draws there. And since this is the final match, once again, please like, subscribe, etc. And if you're interested, all of our social media channels are in the description below. Make sure to check those out, join those groups. Grow as a Storm player. Join the Combo Cabal. Do it. Last game of the night, we were on the play against humans. Let's do it. Turn 2 Birgi. So we cannot play the flip side of Birgi on our next turn. We'll have 3 mana, 4 mana after this triggers. Lightning Bolt is a break even. Excuse me. Well, now we couldn't anyway. This the general? Yep. They have 2 left in hand. They chose not to get an extra damage in if they had the creature there. Seven next turn. Okay. So they lost out on the point of damage. Gifts and Given is the name. This is the horn game. Come on, sack your land, draw a card. That's step 1. No! I guess that gives us a card to bounce. Through, like, a card to discard to... Like, that's actually not that big of a deal. So now they're swinging for 12. So if they... I guess if they have Thalia's Lieutenant as the last card is exactly lethal. I guess that's 1 damage extra, but... I don't think that being bounced was the end of the world. Oh, wow. Why did I say it out loud? I did it to myself. Oh. Why did I say it out loud? Well, that was a little disappointing. We were denied our nut horn game. Let's open up the pity chest. Okay, not very good. I thought Birgi was better than Electromancer that game for what it's worth, or that league for what it's worth. Let me know what you think in the comments. Once again, like, subscribe, etc. I'm probably going to play this list again. We got to beat up on Tibalt. You know, that's always sweet. Thank you for watching. Hey, Bryant Cook here. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please like and subscribe, but also follow the social media channels down below. If you want to support this content directly, I would recommend going to theepicstorm.com/shop. And if you need a little bit of assistance with the Epic Storm to get to that next level, I would recommend going to theepicstorm.com/tutoring. Don't worry, there's more great content coming right up.